Hi guys, I'm currently on my summer break from university, which means that I have a lot of time to dedicate to learning languages. A while back I already made a list of all the things I'm going to do this summer with regards to language learning, and I think it's still pretty much the same, so I thought I would just go over it with you and tell you what my plans are for this summer. I have two main languages that I want to focus on this summer, which are Swedish and Italian. Swedish is in general just my main language because it's a language I speak best after English and Dutch, so I really want to get my Swedish to a higher level. Like, I really want to be fluent in Swedish, so that's been my priority mostly. For Swedish I would really like to finish my current textbook and workbook. I'm currently using Restart B1 and B2. I'm not really that far in, I've only done the first 3 chapters I think, so yeah, I still need a while to get through. Like, it's a goal to finish it this summer. Like, it's ambitious and I probably won't be actually finishing it, but I just want to see how far I can get, and I'm really hoping I can finish it. Because a lot of the things in here aren't necessarily new, because when I finished Restart A1 and A2, it took a really long while for me to actually start the second book, but in between I did do a lot of other stuff with Swedish, so a lot of the things that are in here aren't necessarily new, so it shouldn't really take me too long to work through these. Another goal is to read another book in Swedish. I finished a Swedish book less than a month ago, I believe, and I read it really quickly and was really happy with my progress, so now I'm already kind of excited to read another book in Swedish, because often when I read a book in another language it takes me so long that afterwards I'm kind of tired and I want to read a lot more faster books before I go on to reading another book in a foreign language. But now I'm already excited to read another book in Swedish. I also really want to make another video in Swedish, because at the beginning of this year I already made 2 videos in Swedish, and before I started filming them I didn't really feel like I could actually say that much in Swedish, but it was really cool to see that when I actually tried to speak in Swedish in front of the camera it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. There were actually things I could talk about, I could actually like have a decent talk. I didn't really have to look up a lot of things, and it actually went sort of okay. Like, obviously there's a ton of stuff I can improve on, but it was a lot easier than I thought it would be. So I think it's going to be really good to make more videos in Swedish to practice, and now I've got more time, because when I make a video in Swedish it does take me longer to make, because I pause longer to think about stuff, and just I also kind of need to be in the right mood. Like, it takes a bit more courage to speak in Swedish to a camera than it does to speak English, because I feel a lot more comfortable speaking English, obviously. So I hope at least to make 1 Swedish video this summer, and I'm also hoping to do a video in another language, but it's just kind of hard because for most of the language I'm learning I'm very much a beginner, so I don't really feel like I can actually fill a whole video, or I can just say really boring things, like I can just introduce myself in all those languages, like the basic stuff you learn at the beginning of a language course. My last goal for Swedish is to watch a movie in Swedish. I actually lately have been watching quite a lot of Swedish television programs or just short Swedish videos on the internet, and I just want to do more of that. On my list I just wrote down watch a Swedish movie so that I have something to check off of my list, but in general I just want to watch more television shows and Swedish movies, maybe, or just YouTube channels that are in Swedish. Italian is a new language for me. I only started learning it 2 weeks ago. My parents asked me if I wanted to go to Italy with them this summer, and of course I said yes, but then I thought I really would like to learn some phrases in Italian, at least, like some simple things. So I started learning Italian on Duolingo. So far that's pretty much the only thing I've been using for Italian, just Duolingo, and I've watched some kind of kid stories on YouTube that transcribe the text in English and Italian at the same time, which is kind of nice. And of course I also kept a notebook with all my notes on grammar and such from Duolingo. On my list of summer language goals, I just wrote down that I want to reach level 10 in Italian on Duolingo, and that was just a really random number. I think I'm currently on level 7, so I think I should be able to get much further than 10. But yeah, I don't have a really clear goal with Italian. I just want to do something with Italian because I'm going there, but the sole reason that I'm learning it basically is because I'm going on holiday, so I don't necessarily want to be fluent in it anytime soon or something like that. For a really long time actually I decided that I wasn't going to learn Italian because I know a little bit of Spanish, and I was really afraid that I was going to mix it up. I already have done so a little bit on Duolingo. I kept typing in, as a translation for milk, I kept typing leche, but I didn't, and it kept correcting me, but in the correction I didn't, like, it was a full sentence, so I thought something else was wrong. I didn't think I translated the word milk wrong. I just didn't see it, and I kept on typing leche, and then like at some point, like all the way to the end, I realised, oh wait, that's Spanish, that's not Italian. But that's so far been the only word I've been mixing up. Apart from that, it's been fine. I don't have a book for Italian. I did go to a bookstore that has some language books, and I looked through the 2 Italian books that I had, but they weren't really kind of books that got me really excited about language learning, and I just felt I could basically get the same thing from Duolingo, so I haven't really found a good book yet, and I'm not really in a hurry to get a book because it's just to learn some basics for going on a holiday, but maybe at some point I'll get a book. If you have any recommendations, let me know. So those were the 2 main languages that I want to focus on this summer. Next languages are French and German, which are both languages that I really hope to get back to my old level. I studied both of them in secondary school and I forgot a lot of it, and I really would like to get back to my old level. I'm not really sure yet how I'm going to do that because I do have some of the material I used in secondary school, but for French I only have the material I used for the last 3 years, not for the first 3 years, so that's kind of annoying because I really want to go over the basics again. And for German, the stuff that I have is really dry. I just have really dry grammar books. I'm not really too excited to start, but I'm just gonna look maybe for another book to kind of freshen up my knowledge of French and German, I think. And also I do have a grammar book on French, which is quite nice. I think I'm going to try to do some exercise out of there, and also do Duolingo for both of them, just get a bit further. And also I'd really like to read something simple in French, like I have a Tintin comic in French, so I might try to read that, or I also have a short story collection in French, maybe just read one of those stories. And also just want to start new notebooks for those 2 languages because I just have really messy notebooks from high school which also have a lot of random exercises in between, so I just want specific notebooks for just all the grammar notes and vocabulary lists and things like that without all the exercise, so that it's just a bit neater and more structured. For Japanese, I would like to continue Japanese from 0 to 2. I'm only on chapter 2, so that's not that far, but like the first book, if I think about the amount of time I spent working on it, it really wasn't that much, so I think I should be able to work through this pretty quickly. On my list of goals, I just wrote down I want to get to chapter 5, but that's not that far. I hope I can get a bit further actually. Also, I hope that Duolingo is finally gonna release Japanese for PC and Android users. That would be really cool. And I also have some memorized lists from the first Japanese from 0 book that I think it would be good to go over again, or over all the vocabulary and stuff. So those are all my sort of language specific goals. I also hope to write a little bit more in my language journal, because I keep a language journal in which just every now and then I try to write about my day in one of my target languages, and I would just really want to write in all of the languages that I've mentioned before, and maybe a couple of others as well. I think this summer I'm probably also going to do some Danish. I also don't have a textbook for Danish, but I've been using Duolingo and some other websites, and I've watched second season of The Killing, which is a Danish TV show, with my dad the last week, and I don't know, and whenever I hear Danish being spoken, I'm getting excited again to learn it, so now I really want to learn it again. I don't have specific goals either for Danish, but I would just like to learn a little bit more. And even though Danish and Swedish are of course also quite similar, I feel like because my Swedish is a lot better than my Danish, I feel less scared of mixing them up, so I think I can continue on with Danish. So those are basically all the language learning goals that I have for this summer. I'd love to know if you have any plans or goals for the summer, and I'll see you next time. Bye!